Okay, here's our 60-year-old Continental 8. Really takes no maintenance. Sorry it's messy, but we are a high volume shop. So, okay, first of all, this is the wire. It doesn't cost $8 billion like people say. This is the depth gauge. It's a 0. Oh, thank you, Christian. Try doing that by hand, that quickly and that cleanly. This actually controls a pin that goes up and down that breaks off that wire, which is coming through here. It's very easy to set up. This allows it to get countersunk in more or less. We usually leave it at 0 because our machines are well tuned. Again, 60-year-old machine. Here you have the depth gauge in and out. This can also go up so that you get a different level for the gauge or for the guide. Okay, so if you want to guide it against the sole or heel, for instance, or you drop it, and then this completely moves it out of the way. Now there's a reason that you would do that. We'll get to that later. This actuates the anvil, if you would. This is the power. This is your standard foot. This is going to work 99.9% of the time. You practically will never take this off. If you see people moving these things on and off, they're just being busy for no reason. This one is a long boot model. Continental 8. And this is a big boy. This is the biggest machine that they have. This thing is a monster. It will go through leather stacked, I don't know, 3 inches deep, and it'll still go through it. Very heavy machine. We use that for cowboy boots. Nonetheless, let's go back to this. This sets your length for the nail. Okay, so if we do this, you see the length of the nail. Okay. If we go all the way, pretty long. Okay, it's over 1 inch. Okay, so generally, again, we leave it at a certain level. This is in case you run it for boots, because this will raise the anvil. See, raise the anvil. This sets pressure. Don't mess with this. Just leave it there. Doesn't need to be forward. Doesn't need any of that. Do not oil this machine either. What you're going to use is usually dry lubricant or Teflon inside of here. Okay, so let's take a look in there. That is what comes down to cut the nail. These go bad, okay? But they're unobtainable. If you have this machine, do not scrap it. You keep this part. Someone might need it. There are numbers on it. I have a few of these machines. I have actually 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 of these machines that I keep around, and I always buy them when I can get my hands on them. But this here, this is where you thread it. It goes through this tube. Never unravel this, by the way. You put it in there, you lock all this, then you cut the retainer, you scrim it through, you come through here, you just push. And this is a one way. Don't be scared of the machine. And then you can come here and feed. Okay? But this always has to be closed. So now that's it. Now there's another function to this machine, which we'll get to in a minute. But for anyone telling you that this machine is no good, they're out of their minds. So I can do this with one hand. Let's bring it up while I hold this phone. And here you go. Now this depth is no good. So we're gonna bring it in. Now we have a good depth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, you're telling me that you can do this cleaner and faster by hand. well, you need to just kind of get reality check there, okay? Because you're not doing that faster, you're not doing it cleaner. As simple as that. And you're not doing it cheaper, okay? That roll is less than $100 US, and it will do over 1,000 pairs of shoes. So don't give me any baloney about, oh, I like to use a brad gun, which is cheap trash work, okay? Brad guns are no good. The other advantage of this machine is that as this anvil is going up and down, it is actually compressing the glue, okay? Now, this is a slow day for us. That's just the men's heel and sole work for today. I mean, it's the 3rd of January. I'm not nailing all that by hand. I don't have time to deal with it, okay? Now, let's go to a couple other functions. This comes out. Don't lose this. Put it somewhere safe. Now you're left with this. You come here and you put this to 0, and you'll check that when nothing comes out. You can take this. This goes here, okay? Well, it will if it's clean. I don't use it, so, because I have a press. But this goes here, and all of a sudden, you can now press toes. So you can take a boot, and let's say you got to hammer that toe in. Well, you get rid of that. You bring that in. This is only on the larger machines. You bring this up. That now acts as a hammer press. Okay? That's what that is. That hammers this. Now, let's see if we can get this off. No problem. It came off. Now, there's this, which again, I don't use. Let's clean it off. But it's awesome nonetheless. This goes here. Now you see the setup? Yes? Okay, so we're running, and now we're looking at this head, which you cannot find anywhere. Okay? This is called an automatic press. And if you hit this, you'll see that it actually goes up and down. So what you do, you bring it more. Now here, you bring this up, and now you can press. Now this is where you bring this in. Okay? Because this is more pressure, less pressure, more pressure. Make sure this is on 0. Okay? And now, you can press. So what do you use that for? Well, you use it for anything that you need to press. And again, give it more purchase. So now we have a less of a gap. You see? Now it'll close. But it'll give you a cushion. So just like that. You can use it on soles. So if you took a sole, so these are getting half soled. We just nailed this on the same machine. And now if you want, you can do that. And you can hit the button. Let's bring it down so there's less pressure. And it will actually press this. You can do just like that. And it will give you fantastic pressing. Again, go down, take this off. Never lose these, that's unobtainable. You can't find it. Put this on. So here. Now we're gonna come back. No, I don't know, that's about 4. We're gonna drop this and move it out of the way. We're gonna bring the guide back. That's it. Now we're ready. Okay, so you might run into a situation where this bunches up here. Don't be scared. Open this. Come in here with a side cutter. Cut. Take a screwdriver or whatever and come here between these two and pull down, and this has to go in the hole. Now here, look here. It's gonna go, oh, there we go. Now it's here, you see it? Close this. You don't have to touch this. Hit it like that. That's it. Okay? No problem. Now let's go back to the shoe. Again, we need to nail this. And for all you guys out there that are claiming this machine is stupid and you'd rather do it by hand and you gotta, I don't know what, who knows what you're doing, it's all crap. You're not doing any better than that, any faster, any cheaper. That's it.